To our second debate, who knew that the famous prasadam from Tirupati, the Srivari Laddu, will leave a bitter taste? Over the last week, the ghee-filled Srivari Laddu, the prasadam or religious offering made to the deity of Sri Venkateshwara at the Tirumala in Tirupati district, has been in the midst of a political storm. The ripple effect is now seen across India, while Lucknow's Mankameshwar temple has banned the market-bought offerings. Uttar Pradesh's Food Safety and Drug Administration has collected 13 samples of prasadam from temples in Mathura, Vrindavan and Govardhan for testing. For a country where the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857 was sparked by the use of pig and cow fat in the grease for rifle cartridges, offending Muslim and Hindu troops, has the previous government of Andhra Pradesh failed to protect the Hindu Astha? And is the Tirupati incident, where the TTD's consistent lackadaisical approach has now come to light, is it symptomatic of the larger concern regarding the culturally sensitive management of temples? That's a question we'll also be probing in just a bit. But first up, let's also tell you what has transpired in the Tirupati temple row. Andhra Pradesh government has appointed the SIT to probe the Tirumala ghee adulteration allegations. A 4-hour Shanti Panchagave Prokshana, or the ritualistic sanitization ritual, it has been performed to undo the alleged desecration which was carried out in Tirumala. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Naidu has announced that a cleansing process will soon be initiated across the temples in the state. Jagan Mohan Reddy has written to the Prime Minister urging him to intervene and reprimand Chief Minister Naidu. Also, Jagan has referred to Naidu as a habitual liar. Former Tirumala Board Chairperson Y.V. Subba Reddy has also approached the Supreme Court seeking the formation of an independent committee to probe the allegations surrounding the Tirupati Prasadam. Tirupati Board has in the meantime submitted its report to the Chandrababu Naidu government. In its report, here's what it states. The TTD has highlighted that suppliers were supplying poor quality ghee which lacks aroma and even taste. TTD has warned the existing suppliers to improve quality of the ghee. Despite warning, the board through physical inspection has found that the ghee is of poor quality. Testing has also revealed that animal fats including lard are present. Adulteration testing equipment was also not installed, even though it costs 75 lakhs. The Tirumala Prasadam Rao has reignited free temple debate. Andhra's Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan has also called for Sanatan Dharma Rakshana Board at the national level to look into all the issues that are related to temples in entire India. Vishwa Hindu Parishad has also wanted Hindu temples to be handed over to the society to safeguard sentiments of the devotees. Shri Ravi Shankar is echoing similar views, saying that we need to have a committee of spiritual leaders to manage temples just like other religious boards. Spiritual leader Sadhguru has said that it is time the Hindu temples are run by devout Hindus, not by government administration. Here are some interesting facts as well. The NSSO survey has estimated that temple economy is worth 3.2 lakh crore rupees, or about $40 billion, and 2.32% of the GDP. With this, we come to the big question: should states really continue to oversee temples?
I am doing 3 angles. One is, first of all, purification, prokshanam, that they will conduct according to traditions, Agama Sampradayam. Second, I am ordering an inquiry, IGP level or more than that. Then the team will establish the facts. Finally, all temples, all prayer places, respect to religious people only will work.
इसी तरह की बात हमारे वृंदावन में भी सुनने को मिली है, जहाँ पे सही किस्म का खोए का इस्तेमाल नहीं हो रहा है या उसमें भी मिलावट हो रही है। तो मैं समझती हूँ कि अब इस डिपार्टमेंट को कुछ काम करना चाहिए, क्योंकि सरकार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की है, तो उनको पूरी जिम्मेदारी के साथ इस पे काम करवाना चाहिए।
आज एक अच्छी पहल हम लोगों ने ये करी है कि कोशिश करिए, अब देखिए कितना पालन ये लोग कर पाते हैं। गर्भगृह में बाहरी जो प्रसाद आएगा वो अंदर नहीं जाएगा, और आग्रह हम लोगों ने सारे श्रद्धालुओं से, भक्तजनों से, और जो भी मंदिर तक आते हैं दर्शन हेतु।
All right, we're getting in breaking inputs. In fact, we are learning that the former TTD chairperson Bumana Karunakar Reddy was prevented by the police from completing his oath at the Akhilandam after performing the sacred bath at Pushkarini. This is the latest input that we are bringing to you. There was high drama outside Tirumala, and former TTD chairperson is now facing the heat as well. What we are learning is that he was prevented by the police from completing his oath. Let's quickly go across to Swastika Das, who brings us more input. Swastika, first things first, why was he being stopped from taking oath?
Law and order situation. Remember, Tirumala is a site which receives pilgrims to the tune of 70,000 at least every single day. And in order to avoid any kind of untoward incident, considering how the story has in fact rendered a heavy blow and has raised questions on the administration of the former TTD board, of which Karunakar Reddy was in fact the chairman, the current government dispensation and the administration didn't want to take any risk, and that's the reason why they barred him from doing any kind of ritual within the temple premises.
All right. Many thanks to you, Swastika, for bringing in all those inputs. And with that, let's quickly introduce our guests today who are joining in on Plain Speak today. I'm joined in by Vishnu Shankar Jain, who is the spokesperson for BJP in Andhra Pradesh, Manoj Yadav, who is the spokesperson for the Samajwadi Party, Narayanan, who is the spokesperson for the YSRCP, and Vishnu Shankar Jain, who is a renowned advocate. In fact, if I could quickly begin with the Samajwadi Party spokesperson, Manoj Yadav. Manoj ji, first of all, I'd like to ask you, why is Dimple Yadav calling this a food control issue? Is this really just a food control issue?
निश्चय ही जिस तरीके की घटना हैदराबाद में आंध्र प्रदेश में घटी, वही घटना पूरे देश में कमोबेशी चूंकि श्रद्धालुओं की संख्या लगातार बढ़ती जाए और ये अब आस्था की जगह धीरे धीरे व्यापार का जगह लेता जा रहा है। जो हमारी आस्था है, जो हमारी श्रद्धा है, जो हमारा विश्वास है, मंदिर के प्रति जो हम प्रसाद को अमृत के भाव में समझते हैं, वो नंबर्स बढ़ने से वो धीरे धीरे व्यापार की तरफ चले, और व्यापार ऐसा जिसमें कुछ भी किया जा सकता। इसलिए मैं आचार्य जी बिल्कुल स्पष्ट हूँ, समाजवादी पार्टी, चूंकि हमने बात मथुरा की है, वृंदावन की है, वहां पे प्रतिदिन लाखों लोग आते हैं, तो लाखों लोग प्रसाद चढ़ाते हैं। तो क्या वहां का जो फूड इंस्पेक्टर है, जो या जिले का खाद्य सिस्टम को देखने वाले अधिकारी हैं, या उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार, उस पे अब तक क्या किया गया है? क्या सिर्फ सिंबॉलिक रूप से भगवान कृष्ण की वहां की लड़ाई, मंदिर बनने की लड़ाई लड़ने के लिए योगी आदित्यनाथ और यहाँ की सरकार है, या फिर जो हमारी आस्था है, भावना है, जो हम विश्वास करते हैं, उस प्रसाद को अमृत स्वरूप मानते हैं, उस प्रसाद की शुद्धता पे अगर सवाल उठाया जा रहा है तो इस पे सरकार को जवाब देना पड़ेगा। और अगर आकांक्षा जी ये सरकार जवाब नहीं देती तो मैं एक बात स्पष्ट हूं कि इस सरकार ने हमारी आस्था को, हमारे विश्वास को, शुद्धता को पूंजीपतियों के हवाले कर दिया।
पर मनोज जी, आप किस सरकार की बात कर रहे हैं? आप जगन मोहन रेड्डी की सरकार की बात कर रहे हैं, आप चंद्रबाबू नायडू की सरकार की बात कर रहे हैं?
मैं इस विषय पे किसी को नहीं छोड़ रहा।
नहीं, आपने सरकार बोला तो मैं जानना चाहूंगी, व्यूअर भी जानना चाहेगा किस सरकार की बात कर रहे हैं आप।
देखिए, अगर जगन मोहन रेड्डी की सरकार के दौरान इस तरह की चीजें हो तो ये जांच करी जाए कि आखिर उन्होंने ऐसे मानकों के आधार पे चीजें क्यों बनने दी जो इस देश की एक बड़ी आबादी की भावनाओं को आहत करता। उनको शुद्धि अशुद्धि और ये तमाम सारी चीजें, उन पे सवाल उठाए गए। तो मैं सारी सरकारों पे सवाल उठा रहा हूं, जो जहां सत्ता में है वो ये काम करे। और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट पे भी मेरा आकांक्षा जी सवाल इसलिए कि बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बातें ये सरकार करती है, देश के पूरे मैकेनिज्म को सही करने की बात करती है, और श्रद्धा पे, विश्वास पे, आस्था पे, धर्म पे, ईश्वर पे तो इन्होंने पीएचडी कर रखी है, उस पे आखिर इनका कोई अब तक।
All right, Mr. Murthy, if I could bring you in, there's been a lot of political blame game, especially over the weekend that we've seen. There was also a letter shot by Jagan Mohan Reddy to the Prime Minister, in which he's of course talking about how Mr. Chandrababu Naidu has been defaming and politicizing the entire issue. But you know, there are certain questions which even Jagan Mohan Reddy has not been able to answer in terms of why the KMF was stopped from supplying milk, why was there not any kind of adequate quality testing, which by the way, according to the rules is also mandated, having non-Hindus to be running the temple trust. These are all questions that the devotees of the temple are also perhaps seeking answers to. Mr. Murthy, can you hear me?
Yeah. See, now, Jagannath Reddy not answered, you said. It's wrong, in fact. Take back that word. Jagannath Reddy.
No, I'm saying that the devotees are looking for answers. Why was the KMF stopped from supplying meal, supplying milk, and why was there not?
Made by Chandrababu Naidu. Allegations made by Chandrababu Naidu. Proofless and baseless allegations to confuse Hindu devotees. They confuse Lord Venkateswara devotees, to hurt Lord Venkateswara devotees, is making temple as a not clean, not, see, Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanam is the topmost temple in world. He is spoiling the brand of Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanam brand and spoiling brand of Andhra Pradesh for his own self-interest. To divert the politically, he is failed. He is unable to deliver whatever he said in 2024 election promises. So now one side, Visakhapatnam steel plant is getting privatized, and other way there are many attacks happening, misuse of law happening in Andhra Pradesh, murders are happening in Andhra Pradesh, manabhangas happening in Andhra Pradesh, not able to control all those things. The flood relief not able to done by the government.
Again, you're digressing from the questions that I posed. No, but what about the questions which are right now at the center of this entire controversy? The KMF being stopped from supplying milk, the lack of rigorous testing. There are allegations that there were non-Hindus who were running
this government
the
is
board.
responsible for that.
All right, Vishnu Reddy, you hear what the defense coming in is. All right. Let me also bring in Vinusha. Vinusha has been very patiently awaiting her turn. Vinusha, first of all, should this even entire matter, is this even in the ambit of just food control? Because you're looking at a TTD which was running the hem of affairs over there back then. Who is responsible?
Yeah. Akanksha, thanks for having me. And here I will come to the questions which are, whatever the response which was given by the YSRCP leader. The simple question what I want to pose here is, Akanksha, can you imagine anyone getting pure cow ghee at a cost of ₹320 rupees? Is it possible these days? And these people, after coming into the power, have insulted Hindus in. Sir, I have listened to you patiently. I have listened to you patiently. Akanksha,
Mr. Narayanan Murthy, please allow the lady to speak. Mr. Murthy, please allow. Right. Mr. Murthy, I'll give you time to come up with a rebuttal. Please allow her to speak. Yes, Vinusha.
In the previous regime of Jagannath Reddy government, you will be shocked to know, Akanksha, Andhra Pradesh was the only state which was paying for priests belonging to one particular region, pastors. In the previous government, Andhra Pradesh was the only state in which Panchayati Raj department was calling for tenders for the construction of churches. In the previous regime of Jagannath Reddy government, Andhra Pradesh was the only state where that exemption was made completely. There was a previous rule that 10% of the funds should be collected for church construction. All that was exempted, and totally government was constructing the churches. Have you ever heard anything like that? Government paying taxpayers' money to the pastors? All these things have happened in the previous government. Apart from that, they have converted Hindu temples all over the state into some sort of business. They have levied so many common good tax, so many taxes for all temples, including Sri Sailam Raghavendra Swami Mutt, and they have put for auction all temple lands. Raghavendra Swami Mutt. This is not the first time the government of the previous regime has tried.
No, but Vinusha, then by that, then going by those allegations, why not? In fact, the VHP has been talking about how the Supreme Court should take suo motu cognizance. Why not go ahead with a court-monitored probe? Why just go by what the SIT, why constitute an SIT? Just go ahead with the Supreme Court and let it be a fair investigation. Let me quickly bring in Vishnu. Vishnu, Dimple Yadav has said that this is the failure of the food department. Do you also think that it's a failure of the food department alone, or is this also consistent disrespect towards Hindu Astha? Because she's also talking about how this is happening in Vrindavan and checks should be conducted in Mathura, and there are reports which go on to highlight similar incidents happening elsewhere as well. The allegations always been that in opposition ruled states, there's always such incidents happening. Why aren't we able to protect the Hindu Astha? But first, I'd like your thoughts on what Dimple said.
See, first of all, we have to understand that the manufacturing of prasadam in every devasthanam must be, let's talk on first principles, must be within the domain of the temple trust, and temple trust must comprise of the devotees. This is my point number one. Temple trust must not comprise of the government officials. So if the temple trust, whether it is Vrindavan, whether it is TTD, if the temple trust is comprising of the government officials and the people who are belonging to other faith, such things are going to happen. That's point number one. Now let me also give you one very important example, and I want to quote the Honorable Supreme Court here. I'm sorry, I want to quote the Honorable Andhra Pradesh High Court here. Same thing happened in the case of Sri Shailam Mallikarjun, which is one of the 12 Jyotirlings. Now at paragraph 80 of this judgment, which is reported a judgment of the Honorable Andhra Pradesh High Court in Sri Shailam case, what has been recorded? And I quote, in the case on hand, on account of acts of occupants of shops who are non-Hindus, there is possibility of disturbing public order.
Right.
Apart from that, distribution of beef, mutton, and other non-vegetarian, or at least eating non-vegetarian in
Point
the
taken,
temple.
but Vishnu, how do you weigh in on the accusation that particularly it's being observed there's lackadaisical approach whenever it comes to Hindus, whether it is halal certified jaggery packets being used as prasadam in Sabrimala, or Mamata Banerjee's government restricting Durga Puja for the sake of Muharram. We also have this incident now. Dimple Yadav has been talking about the possibility of such a similarity happening in Vrindavan on the fact that it is not just opposition ruled states but also BJP ruled states. How do you weigh in?
See, so far as Vrindavan is concerned, let me tell you about Bake Bihari temple. First of all, Bake Bihari temple is being worshipped by the Shibayats through hereditary Shibayatship. It is not within the control of the government. So if Dimple Yadav is trying to make an allegation on Bake Bihari temple and the Shibayats there of Bake Bihari temple, keeping in view or keeping in mind the perception that it is within the government control, I think she needs to correct her facts, because Bake Bihari temple is not within the government control. That is point number one. Point number two is that I have seen this trend of late, that so far as Hindu Astha, whenever it is an issue, whether it's a national issue or whether it's a state issue, there is no cognizance which is being taken. Because kindly see the historical background. We are living in a country where in 1856, because of Greece Carthages, Sepoy mutiny happened. When this beef and pork was fed to the military, to the people who were a part of British Army.
Point taken. Quickly, Manoj Yadav, I'd like your response. But you know, many are also wondering that whenever it comes to Hindu Astha, जब यूपी पुलिस के डायरेक्टिव्स आए थे कावड़ियों के लिए कि उनको सात्विक भोजन परोसने के लिए वो ढाबे, सबसे पहले समाजवादी पार्टी ने ही अपनी आवाज़ उठाई थी कि आप कंट्री के सेक्युलर फैब्रिक को चैलेंज कर रहे हैं. इज इट नॉट टाइम दैट यू सेग्रीगेट योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ सेक्युलर फैब्रिक वर्सेस हिंदू सेंटिमेंट्स, ऑल्सो हिंदू आस्था?
नहीं, देखिए आकांक्षा जी, जो बात अभी हमारे साथी कह गए कि वो गवर्नमेंट को नहीं करता है, वहां गवर्नमेंट का कोई मतलब नहीं है, तो कानून के जानकार हैं, वकील साहब हैं, इन्हें तो पता होना चाहिए. आपने भी सवाल उठाया, मैंने भी सवाल, आखिर फूड डिपार्टमेंट क्या कर रहा है? ये तो उसकी जिम्मेदारी है, हर दुकान पे जाना, उसका फूड का सैंपल लेना, चेक करना कि इसमें किस चीज की क्या मात्रा है. तो हमने कौन सा गलत सवाल रेस कर दिया? आदरणीय डिम्पल जी ने तो बिल्कुल सही बात बताई. और वहां पे इतनी गैदरिंग है, इसके आधार पे वो मिल्क कहाँ से आ रहा है, वो चीजें कहाँ बन रही. मेरा तो एक सुझाव है सरकारों को, और बहुत सिंपल सा सुझाव है, नेचुरल चीजें इस्तेमाल की जानी चाहिए ईश्वर के प्रसाद के रूप में, जो नेचुरल, जो हमें.
All right, Vinusha Reddy, I want to bring you in quickly. Article 26B of the Indian Constitution categorically states the right to run your own religious affairs. And examples, or rather comparisons, are also being made with churches and mosques. Is it time that Hindus, give this to a temple committee perhaps, or a Sanatan Dharma board, as has already been demanded by the Deputy CM Pawan Kalyan in Andhra Pradesh?
Akanksha ji, one thing I want to say is, as Bharatiya Janata Party, we always followed and upheld the principles of secularism, and we stand up to them. That means treating the Hindus equally, if not like second-grade citizens as was happening in the previous regime. And now a discussion has started nationwide, and our Deputy Chief Minister has asked for it, and he has also returned to the Prime Minister, and let us see what happens next. But one thing is sure, if there is any party which wants all religions to be treated equally in this country, it is only Bharatiya Janata Party. And I'm wondering, all the while the Samajwadi Party person was speaking, the Dimple Yadav has questioned. I just want to ask, what was Dimple Yadav doing, and why is not she questioning her allies? If you say DMK, which wants to destroy and eradicate Sanatan Dharma, I think she should question them also. And there is one more ally, when you see in the form of Mamta Banerjee, who obstructs every day. And there is one more ally, if you go Tejashwi Yadav, he goes on during the Navaratri Puja, consuming the non-veg and uploading the videos. And
Right. I'm glad that we have in fact raised this issue, and perhaps it is time that Hindu temple management become a reality and a proper framework be worked upon by the Indian government, and that also includes perhaps not just states. It is also the centre's responsibility. I'm sure you all will agree to that. Many thanks to you, Vinusha and the gentleman, for joining in. And with that, it's a quick wrap from my end. Thank you so much for watching Plain Speak. Up next is the Hard Facts with Rahul Shivshankar.
At L'Oréal Group.
Prime Minister also met the Crown Prince of Kuwait, and in fact Prime Minister thanked Crown Prince of Kuwait for taking care of Indian diaspora, because Kuwait has largest Indian diaspora. Back to you.
Absolutely. Also, Siddhant, since you mentioned semiconductor, there has been a very, very crucial deal between